Hey everybody, welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be playing Godzilla, Monster of Monsters for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is a game that I actually grew up with, courtesy of actually Mark Havener there in the chat. He used to live down the street from me, and I would borrow this game from him quite a bit. Eventually got my own copy of the game as well, and continued playing it as a kid. I just really enjoyed this game. I've gone back to it on and off over the years, but never finished it again until this past week. Last week I fired it up on Twitch, because I've been meaning to do a playthrough of this on YouTube for years now, like a good 4 or 5 years, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And one of the reasons I haven't gotten around to it is that it's a long game. It took me 4 hours to go through the game last week on Twitch. Now granted, I'm going to be a lot more familiar with it now, because last week was the first time I had finished the game in over 20 years. And so this playthrough should, hopefully, cross your fingers, be a little bit shorter than 4 hours, maybe 3, maybe 3.5. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe 2.5, yeah, probably not. But yeah, despite the length, I still really enjoyed the game. I had a really good time with it. The game has some great visuals, especially for late 80s. It's got a great soundtrack. The gameplay is fun once you know what to do. A lot of people, I think, struggle with this game because they just don't know what to do. They don't know how to deal with the enemies and the various different level types you go to and the bosses. But yeah, I had a great time with it, aside from the overbearing length. So yeah, we're gonna go through the whole thing here in one sitting. And yeah, we're gonna do our thing as we always do. So thanks everyone that's popped in so far. We've got Solid Nate out there, Phoenix, Mark, Leo, Benjamin, and Stexor just popped in. Stexor says, I think that Godzilla NES is another one of those games that got an infamous reputation, mostly because of AVGN, like Silver Surfer, TMNT. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. Godzilla is not a bad game at all, if you ask me. I think it's not perfect. Like I said, I think my biggest complaint is that it just goes on for way too long. But to be fair, it does have a password system. So, you know, you don't have to do the whole thing in one sitting. You can space it out and play it in little chunks. But if you try to play it all in one sitting, like I'm going to do here, it does overstay its welcome, for sure. But I think most of the other aspects of it are fine. I think it's a fine game. I loved it as a kid. Still really enjoy it now as an adult. I don't think it's a bad game. Acquired taste? Sure. But a bad game? Definitely not. So I'm sure we're going to see a few random people pop in with some negative thoughts about the game as we go through this. But let's just brace for that. But yeah, before we actually jump into the actual gameplay here, I want to actually do a few patron shoutouts and whatnot. So shoutouts to Duke Flukum, who actually rejoined us as a patron just the other day. So thanks a lot, Duke, for that. I really appreciate it. And then thanks to you guys that did super chats on our Streets of Rage 4 stream on Wednesday. Man, I'm so used to streaming on Thursday. So Ronnie Webster, Kent Lee, Tony Hayden, and Jeff Smith, thanks a lot for that, guys. You guys really spoiled me on that stream. Fun stream. The archive is up now if you guys missed it. Really awesome game. Definitely check that out if you're interested in beat-em-ups, especially classic Streets of Rage beat-em-ups. Also, I didn't realize that I had my channel memberships stuff down here in the bottom completely out of whack. So a couple of you guys that weren't on there, like Vince and Retro Simon, you are now on there. Thank you guys for your continued support. And Lodging Dolphin, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I finally fixed your name. So your name is spelled correctly now. It wasn't spelled correctly before, so yeah. Thanks guys for your support. And so yeah, with that, let's go ahead and get this whole thing going. This is going to be a long playthrough, so let's go ahead and start off. Alright, so you basically go from planet to planet in our solar system, and you have to destroy all the monsters that are in said, on the said planet. And then you have to exit the planet that you're on. I'll sort of explain that as we go through the game. So you have two characters you can play as. You have Godzilla and you have Mothra. With Godzilla here, you can punch by pressing the A button, and you can actually punch really fast too. Which I highly recommend. If you duck and press B, you'll actually do a tail swing, which is actually not the most useful thing. I actually prefer to just punch or kick. And so you can kick things that are sort of lower to the ground, and you can punch things that are higher up in the air, kind of like these. Tail swing is good for rocks and so forth, like these, just like so. And so what you do is you go through a variety of level styles. So this is sort of like, I don't know, technically we're on Earth, but it looks like we're on some kind of moon surface, which is kind of weird. But you just go through each level, you bash stuff, you get points, and then you try to line up with the bosses here, and you try to fight the bosses. And so we basically just have to do this over and over for pretty much the whole game. Hitting your start button uses up your power. You'll notice there are two bars on the top. You've got a power bar and you've got a life bar. And hitting start will use Godzilla's breath. And with Mothra, she does this... I don't even know what it is, what kind of attack it is, but you basically drop these projectiles, you know, from the air, which is kind of interesting. And so these things are always tricky to deal with, at least in the early parts of the game. I'm looking for the hitbox here. The hitbox on these things actually changes once they start glowing, so I'm just gonna wait until I'm powered up again. Trying to find the hitbox. Where's the damn hitbox? Come on, hitbox. There it is. It's right in the front. Okay, so it's in the front. There are some later on where the hitbox is in the back. And you'll know that you're activating the hitbox because it makes this slight low-pitched rumble sound. So you do actually level up in this game. You'll notice that my my power bar and my health bar is actually very small right now. And from what I understand, I was looking at a walkthrough. It almost seems like these health pickups is what progresses you towards your next level. I thought it was score originally, but one of the walkthroughs I looked at said that it was, you know, those pickups that you can grab. So we want to grab as many of those as we can, apparently, so we can level up as quickly as possible. You generally level up in this game by, you know, at the end of boss fights, typically. So this is our first boss, Godzilla. Godzilla is pretty much a non-issue. He doesn't really ever damage you, but it does corner you. And so we're going to be, you know, in these boss fights a lot over the course of the game. There we go, we just leveled up. And what I'm going to do is actually switch back over to Mothra. So you'll notice that you've got this gridded map, sort of this world map right here. And Godzilla can actually move 2 spaces while Mothra can move 4. On the later maps in the game, what I prefer to do is I prefer to try to move Godzilla and Mothra evenly, because there is a little bit of a strategy element to this game, which is kind of cool. Something that this game doesn't really get credited enough for. It definitely helps to have Godzilla and Mothra close to each other. You don't want to have them too spaced out from each other, because an enemy might target you, and then you know, you might end up losing a lot of health. And by having Mothra, or if you're if you're Mothra, having Godzilla by your side, you know, as a backup can get you through some tough situations. So, as you guys will see later on, these first couple levels are pretty easy to deal with. But as you'll notice, Mothra plays a little bit like a shoot 'em up, which is pretty cool. Her shot doesn't come out very quickly though, her main shot. So I try to only use that for specific moments. We'll probably end up using it more over the course of the playthrough. And if, you know, if points don't really go towards my level up, I honestly don't really care about killing these enemies all that much. Hey Jay, what's going on? And Martin, welcome to the stream, guys. So let's go ahead and drop our stuff on top of this guy. Just like so. And the hitbox is in the front, just like so. So I'm just gonna pummel it like that. And there we go, we got it. Now actually, I'm thinking about it to myself, the level up system might actually be based on how many bars of like health and power meter that you have. Though the walkthrough I was looking at made it sound kind of confusing. I wasn't sure exactly what it was pointing at. I wasn't sure if it was about picking up these life pellets, or if it's actually just about how much power and life you have. But I don't know. Either way, as we play the game, we're gonna level up. It doesn't really matter how we level up, to be honest with you. We're gonna level up. It's gonna happen, and by the end of the game, we're gonna have, you know, our health bar is gonna go all the way across the screen for Godzilla, and it's gonna go mostly across the screen for Mothra. So these boss fights, you do have a limited amount of time that you can you know, be in here. And so you'll actually witness that more often as the game goes on. Ooh, did it just... No, we destroyed him. Okay. Alright, so switch back to Godzilla. We'll go ahead and use him. And now the goal is to get to the end of the map and then warp out of the map. Let's go ahead and just use our breath here. Your power charges back up. So you definitely want to be using things like your you know, your breath and whatnot to tear through these levels faster. Just like so. Those volcanoes in the background will actually hurt you, so you have to actually punch them. And these guys right here, not really too threatening. Sometimes I just run right past them. You can also jump and use your tail in the air, which is nice. Nice little trick. We're going to be using that later on in the game. Yeah, the soundtrack is great in this game. I really enjoy it. Alright. Gotta go ahead and switch back over to Mothra. Don't mind me if I'm not talking great right now, man. I just woke up a little while ago, so... And then I ate McDonald's for basically breakfast, which is not the greatest thing in the world, so... that's not going to help me either. But we'll see if I can get myself woken up here in a little bit. So there are some enemies you do absolutely have to destroy because they just won't let you past you, or they won't let you past them. Enemies like these plants, for instance, if you try to fly underneath them, they shoot these lasers. Oh, and look, I got past them. I got lucky. There are some enemies later on where you absolutely cannot pass them because their lasers will just shoot down the second you try crossing them. Now, there is a mechanic in this game that is kind of annoying. If you hit certain types of lasers and projectiles and whatnot, your character will actually get shot back to the far left-hand portion of the screen. So you do have to watch out for that as you're playing through the game. It's going to happen a lot. It's just something you kind of deal with as you play the game. Just like so, I just got knocked back. Well, it wasn't actually McDonald's breakfast. I'm just saying I went to McDonald's for my quote-unquote breakfast, which was, it was around, you know, 11:30 a.m., so they were serving lunch at that point. So I got a McDonald's lunch, but that was my breakfast. And I love McDonald's, I love fast food, but it's terrible for you, and it's not good for your brain. If you consume a lot of fast food, yeah, it doesn't do any favors for your brain. And you need your brain to work when you're trying to talk and play at the same time. So, but, yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna see if I can just fly under these things, just to skip through this. With Godzilla, you absolutely have to destroy those things. Look at that! Nice and fast. Got through it nice and quick. That's awesome. The brunch of champions, yes. Oh, that's really cool, Mark. You sent them a letter and they actually responded and they gave you stuff? That's awesome. You know, my my 9th grade English teacher told me that he would do that. He would send feedback to companies, whether it was good or bad, and they would always send him stuff as a result, like, you know, as a thank you. It's cool to see that video game companies were doing that too back then. Just gonna kick my way through these things. The hitboxes on these 3-way missile launchers are a little weird. There is no rumble sound when you hit them, so it's hard to tell that you're actually doing damage to them. And some of the only things in the game where you don't know if you're actually doing damage. And I should say the hitbox on your breath on those, against those specific enemies can be a little weird too. So there we go, we basically send our character to the next field. Now there is kind of an interesting, in a bad way, mechanic where if you send your character to the next field, and then the character remaining on the field, like Mothra right now, if they die, you get a game over, and you gotta do the level over again. You can continue the level again from the title screen, so you know it's not like you have to do the whole thing without continuing. But you will have to do the whole level over again, and that really sucks later on in the game because the levels get really long later on in the game, really long. I actually died on the final level on my Twitch playthrough last week, and I think it ended up taking me a half an hour to get back to the final boss again. So. Hey, Zelda Master, welcome. Akela and Dasan, welcome. Alright, so what I'm going to do is actually have Mothra and Godzilla kind of go... No, I'm going to have Mothra go to the bottom run. I'm not really at danger on this level. Mars is a pretty easy place. Not too difficult to deal with. Probably from level 3 and on, it gets a little more challenging. This is NES. In the title, Dasan. Nintendo Entertainment System. As in North America. One of the reasons that many hate this game because how long, right? I honestly have no idea, Stexor. All I hear is, this game sucks. This game sucks. That's all I hear. And I'm just like, alright, cool. So, yeah, I don't know, man, honestly. I never saw the AVGN episode. I don't know what his complaints were. And I know that's just a show. I don't take AVGN seriously. I understand what it is. And I enjoy it for what it is, but I never actually watched a lot of his early episodes. I didn't start watching his stuff until several years in. Sin City, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so this one I believe the hitbox is towards the back after you do your initial damage. So right now the hitbox is towards the front. Let's see if it remains there. These things can be a little annoying to fight with Godzilla specifically, but you can also end up leveling up on these, so it's worth fighting them. No, the hitbox is still in the front. Yes, yeah, I just leveled up. Very good. You can never beat it. Still love the game though. Nice. Well, welcome to the stream, Carl. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll move Mothra this way. Yeah, same here, Jay. I mean, I like classic Godzilla. It's not something that I'm, like, terribly passionate about these days. I don't watch a lot of that stuff anymore. But you know, thanks to Mark in the chat, I did watch a lot growing up. So there was that factor, but just the game itself, aside from that, was just fun to me. Like, it wasn't like... You know, my favorite games growing up were the ones that I just enjoyed playing without thinking about it. I just enjoyed them, and Godzilla was one of those games I just liked. Just like I liked Mega Man, and just like I liked Castlevania, you know, or Super Mario Brothers. So, yeah, I think it's still a fun game. Although, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I think the biggest issue is its length. It is absolutely way too long for its own good, but, you know, it's not the end of the world, you know? I still think it's a really fun game. Alright, so... Now, one issue as well is, you know, with Mothra, if there are a lot of projectiles on screen, and the game slows down, it actually starts to eat your main shot inputs. So this little shot right here, you can't, like, button mash. This is as fast as it goes, right here. And sometimes it'll just stop coming out, because, there's so much stuff happening on screen, it just starts to eat inputs. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go with Mothra right here, and you pretty much have to fight the enemy. If you don't, then the enemy's pretty much gonna fight you, guaranteed. So we'll go ahead and fight the enemy. No one cared about their $60 worth, dude. Were you buying NES games for $60 in 1988? No, your parents were. You didn't care how much they cost. All you cared about was that you got an NES game and that you could play it. Hell, in a lot of cases, you didn't even know what they cost. And, yeah, I mean, NES games were $60 back then, but just like now, games dropped in price pretty quickly, depending on the game and how well it's sold and things like that, you know? So it's not like every game was always $60 for 5 years straight or something like that. I remember when I got Godzilla, it probably had been marked down to like $10 by that point. You know, it was in bargain bins by the time I got it. You know, game came out in 88 or so, 88 or 89. I think it was 88. And by the time I got it, it was probably like 91 or 92. It was probably $10, you know. Hey, CM Retro, good to see you, dude. Welcome back. Benjamin, yeah, a long game is more tolerable when the gameplay is varied. Unfortunately, the gameplay is not super varied here. So that 4-hour length is a little tough to deal with in one sitting. Again, you do get passwords in this game. Although I honestly, because I didn't want to stop playing last week, I didn't really figure out how to actually get the passwords. So if someone knows how to do that, let me know, I'm curious. But you do have passwords in this game. So, you know, you can play for an hour, play for a few levels, and then take a break and then come back later. So what just happened here is basically the fight timed out. And the game alternates between the player's turn and the enemy's turn. And what happened is I picked my turn, which was to move 2 spaces and then fight Godzilla. And then after the fight timed out, it went to the enemy's turn. And then Godzilla chose to fight me again. And we're going to actually talk more about that at the very end of the game. There's a very specific strategy I am going to use on the final boss in order to defeat it. Otherwise, I will not fight the final boss. Have you played Contra 2 on NES? Yes, I have multiple playthroughs on my channel, actually. So, absolutely. That's an awesome game. So what we're going to do is, we're going to move Godzilla 2 spaces so we can actually get him a little bit farther ahead. Go ahead and use our breath just to cut through these early enemies. Alright, so these things right here, these things suck. They can kill you almost instantly if you let them. But with Godzilla, what you can do is you can jump into the air, and they basically track wherever you are on the screen. So if you're up in the air, they'll veer more towards the upwards, the upper part of the screen. No, it's okay, Desan, don't worry about it. No worries. See, there's another one right here. And I actually got one of my game overs on when I was playing this last week on Twitch. Actually, it wasn't a game over. Godzilla died. But since Mothra was still in the playfield, it was fine. I got Mothra to the end, and then I went to the next level. If at least one character survives to the end, assuming your second character that's still there doesn't die, whoever died on the previous map will be revived on the next level, which is pretty cool. So now what you're going to find is a lot of these bosses have very specific strategies to deal with them. Mothra is actually pretty good against this guy because she can actually sit at a specific height and you'll kind of glitch him out to where he'll just always shoot straight and it'll just go right over Mothra's head. But for this guy with Godzilla, it's just about punching really fast and then letting your power charge up. You can also do the tail swipe. I don't like doing the tail swipe on bosses very much because it's very slow. So I would much rather just punch really quickly. Are the playthroughs being saved on Twitch? Some playthroughs are. Not most of them, no. I don't save them. Because they're very casual. Yeah, very casual playthroughs. So, Mothra's actually better against Varen here. And with Godzilla, I should probably just tail swipe him, just like so. Notice that I'm not really doing much damage. My foot's just going right through him. So we'll just tail swipe him like this, and then use our power when we have it. Every boss is a very specific strategy that you want to play to, for the most part. And now it's his turn. Oh no, it's my turn. Let's go ahead and bring Mothra up. So I do want Godzilla and Mothra to level up relatively evenly. So Alexander, I do have a separate Twitch account called GNT After Dark. At the end of the stream, I can try to link it to you guys. For anyone that wants to see my Twitch playthroughs, I do try to archive the full playthroughs over there. I think I might have archived my Godzilla playthrough, but I haven't published it yet. Yeah, I do have another. I have like 5 or 6 YouTube channels, by the way, guys, for anyone that's curious. For the different types of things I do. Like, I've got a Twitch channel just for gameplay videos with no talk. I've got a Twitch channel for game music. I've got a YouTube channel for game music. I've got a YouTube channel for my pinball stuff, real pinball. And then I have another one just for my Twitch archives. And I don't archive everything on Twitch. I just try to archive things that are worthy of being archived, like full playthroughs. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get Godzilla through first, because I'm at the most risk of dying with Godzilla, mainly because of those glowing orbs that fly through the sky. If I get caught up on those and die, then it's pretty much just, instant death. Or if I get caught up on them, it's pretty much instant death. These right here. So I want to jump into the air, get it to go high, and then just run underneath it like that. Those are the most dangerous things in the entire game, aside from the final boss. Jeez, another one. Man, they're really tossing them at me. This is crazy. Normally they don't toss them at you so rapidly, back to back. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of find it boring watching people play video games. In general. It doesn't matter the game for me. Whenever I watch someone else play video games, even on Twitch or YouTube, it's just like, I want to be playing this game right now. I don't want to watch someone else play the game. I want to be playing the game. That's how I am. But yeah, no, I hear you. It's probably just because there's not like, I mean, there is skill involved here, but it's not, it's not like watching someone play a bullet hell shmup or something like that, or Ninja Gaiden skillfully. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead again and bring Godzilla through here, just like so. Hey, Aladair. Welcome back. Whoa, what did I just get hit by? That was weird. And another one of these things right here. Yes, I did. I like Battle of Olympus quite a bit, yeah. I've been meaning to try to, go through that game again, and, get decent at it again so I can do a live stream here for you guys, but I haven't done that yet. I actually started a new game last year, and I never went back to it and finished it. Probably got about halfway through the game. can always just tail swipe those things in one go. When I fire up Half-Life, yeah, it's probably not going to be this weekend, Leo, but I think sometime next week I'll definitely be doing that, for sure. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I actually bought a copy of Half-Life Game of the Year Edition to run on my Windows 98 machine. And, I've never actually beaten Half-Life. I've barely ever played Half-Life. I've only ever played, really, the intro. That's it. You know. So, yeah, I decided, like, I wanted to try to go through Half-Life 2, which I've actually ironically played more of. But I was like, you know what? I need to do the first one before I do that. I really do. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it holds up. See how I like it. Yeah, so what I played of Half-Life 2, I honestly wasn't... I felt like what I played of Half-Life 2, and I played a couple hours of it. It was super linear. Like, very little room for exploration in the maps that you're in. You're just constantly being pushed forward at all times. You know, I would have been blown away by the game when it came out, because it, you know, it along with Doom 3 was pushing, you know, engine technology forward in a big way with its physics and all that stuff. But as far as the actual gameplay was concerned, I was kind of bored by it. And this was just a couple years ago I'm talking about. I was streaming it on Twitch one day. I don't know if the first one's like that. It might be. I don't know. But it's one of those games that's always been viewed so highly among gamers of that era that I feel obligated to play it. And it's a first-person shooter. I love FPS games. Particularly from that time. Not as much now. I'm a little more picky about the games now. I'm not really into the military shooters and stuff like that, like Call of Duty and whatever. Half-Life 1's definitely a little different. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, I don't want to get hit by this thing. Otherwise, we'll be doing this whole level over again. And I don't want that to happen. Oh man, just too much stuff. Let me go ahead and kill things. Sometimes it's better to actually just kill everything. It'll make your progress go a little bit smoother. It's just like so. Silver Surfer actually has 3 tunes. 4, 5, 6 tunes? I know what you mean, though. In-game music, it's only got 2. But it's got the title screen theme, which is amazing. And then it's got, I think it's pretty sure it's got an ending theme and everything. And then other music in between. Alright, so now what I want to do is try to keep Godzilla and Mothra together. So what we're going to do is move Godzilla 2 spaces, and then we'll just, we'll probably move Mothra 4 spaces, and then move Godzilla up next to her. So, that way if I get ganged up by multiple enemies, I don't really have much to worry about. Go ahead and use our breath. It's like Listerine breath. Doom and Quake are cream of the crop. Exactly, Nate. True story. No, Alexander. Never played a randomizer. No. I always kind of blamed Half-Life for ruining the FPS genre. Not a terrible series, but I always prefer the old style of Doom and Quake. I don't know why I'd say ruining. I mean, it's every genre, regardless of what it is evolved over the years, and that's just the nature of things. People want new and different, and Half-Life was new and different. Like, something was going to give eventually, so being like, I blame this or that for ruining things. Like, things were gonna change regardless. The general public just gets very fed up with the same thing over and over again. Which is why arcade games are dead. You know? Yeah, and so, I mean, Half-Life pushed the FPS genre into a different direction. And since then, it's gone into even more of a different direction. Like, you can look at Half-Life as a relic of the past now. It's, it just is what it is. Halo changed things up significantly. You know, when Halo came out with its, rechargeable shields and whatnot. Every game tried to copy that. I remember when the arena shooter was the king of online multiplayer first-person shooting, and now that's a relic of the past, thanks to games like Counter-Strike, and then other team-based games. And then Call of Duty blew up in the late 2000s. And that took away from stuff like Counter-Strike. It's just a constantly evolving thing. And the stuff that's popular now, you know, 10, 15 years from now, it's gonna be totally different. I bet you. Things constantly evolve and change. The younger crowd also dictates kind of what the in thing is. And it kind of sucks. You know, I'm one of those stuck in my old ways kind of guys, and I like my Dooms and Quakes and my arena shooters. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, Counter-Strike could die in a fire because it killed Quake 3. Like, I've gotten over it. I got over it a long time ago, actually. As everyone else should, because there are bigger things to worry about in life. Props out to the people that can, or the older folks like ourselves, that have actually enjoyed the evolution of the genre past a certain point. The guys that are still playing Call of Duty, that also played Doom and Quake back in the day. They're probably enjoying life a hell of a lot more than some of us are. The retro look on modern games won't be forever. Hey, there we go, got another level up. Hey, Ruben. I want cutscenes. I want longer cutscenes. I want to watch a movie. Oh. Yeah, I really don't want to watch a movie in my video games. I mean, sometimes it's enjoyable, but that's not why I play video games. If I want to watch a movie, I'm still of the mindset that I'll watch a movie, or I'll play an RPG. And I don't do either. Oh, man. So I play video games because I like pressing buttons. I like pressing buttons rhythmically, and watching cutscenes does not allow me to do that. They miss part of the point of, you know, video games. Not to say they can't be good. I've enjoyed my time with stuff like Alan Wake. That actually had a really interesting story to me. But I've never gone back to play it again. I've thought about it, but every time I consider firing it up, I'm like, nah, I'd rather play something where I'm actually doing things. Actually, there was a lot of gameplay in Alan Wake, but there was also a lot of story, too. Yeah, Leo, that's more how I prefer things to happen. You know, Halo's a pretty good example of that. A lot of the story is actually pushed forward during the gameplay itself as you're shooting stuff. So yeah, no, that's definitely my preferred way of implementing story in a more modern game. Don't stop the gameplay. I'm gonna actually stop talking about this subject because I'm gonna sound really old and jaded, and I don't want to be that way. Yeah, I was totally just eating my inputs there. And funny enough, it was actually making the sound effect for my special, but my special wasn't actually coming out. Seeing Retro goes, it's cool, man. I'm old too. Mothra shredding attack? Doesn't look like there's much shredding going on here. Looks more like she's duplicating her her wings and just dropping them on top of enemies. Godzilla, the largely overlooked NES entry? Yeah, I wonder how overlooked this actually was, because I remember a bunch of my friends back in the day having played it. But over the years, it seems like if anyone's talked about it, it's been in a negative light. So maybe it's just been overlooked more recently, as opposed to, you know, when it was current. Never beaten this game. Well, I mean, I would actually think probably not a lot of people have finished it. It does get pretty tough at the end of the game, and then it is kind of a slog, you know, in that it's just a very long game. You know, it's not like Super Mario Brothers or Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania where you can beat them in, you know, 30 to 45 minutes. Granted, you would put a lot more time into those games just learning them, but Godzilla being over 4 times the length, you know, it would probably take even longer to learn this game back in the day for some people. Depending on the kind of player you were. I never thought this game was up to the difficulty level of something like Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania. But the end of the game is absolutely... you know, Ghidorah is very challenging. And very cheap, actually. You can actually just get cornered and just pretty much be guaranteed to die. So we'll actually kind of see what happens there at the end of this playthrough. I'm hoping for the best. Yeah, so when I'm going through these levels, I gotta use my my breath a little more often. Alright, so just jump. Always jump. That's how you get over those things, or get past those things. Never played Soul Blazer, Alexander. You gotta stop assuming I've played everything, Alexander. Come on, man. I have never played Soul Blazer. I want to, but I've never played it. You figured for my gamer reputation, you need to beat this game. You always thought DuckTales was overrated. Really? Oh man, DuckTales is great. Such a good game. I could try to use my attack there, up top, and then get back down and shoot him in the feet. But you're better off just shooting him in the feet constantly. I think it's faster. I have played a lot of games, don't get me wrong. Oh, it's her shedding attack, not shredding. I thought it said shredding. Yeah, gamer reputation doesn't mean much. I wouldn't worry about it, Steam Retro. Honestly. Do it because you want to do it, though. Not because it's like the in thing to do. I try to do things because, like, I just want to do them. They're personal goals. Like, I want to beat TMNT, not just not because it's, ooh, it's, you know, it's gonna boost my gamer cred. I want to beat it because I played it a lot as a kid and it's always been hard as hell for me, and I just want to, it's a personal accomplishment for me, so. Did I ever play that on hard? I have not, no. This game does have Mecha Godzilla. He's a boss. Mecha Godzilla appears later on in the game, for anyone wondering. You can actually sit right in front of this guy a lot of times, and then just shoot him. In the does he even have feet? I don't know. Just shoot him at the bottom. Yeah, no, that's I can see that stodgy. The thing is, when you know what to do, when you know how to, like with Godzilla, when you know how to use your high and low attacks appropriately, you can deal with all those tiny objects. And I think that's something that people just don't bother to figure out. You can actually just corner Ghidorah and just punch it. Just like that. It doesn't always cooperate. It'll sometimes, you know, punch you, and then it'll push you back, but then you can get right back in position and do it again. Yeah, and you know what? I don't think I've ever bothered to play Contra Hardcore in a higher difficulty. Does Hardcore have a higher difficulty? I have to look. I'm guessing it probably doesn't. I don't know. Can someone verify that for me? I've actually never even thought about that. I know everyone raves about Contra 3 hard mode. Oh, no, you're probably talking Contra 3. No, okay. Sorry, for some reason I equated it to hardcore. I didn't think hardcore had a difficulty selection. Yeah, same here, Mark. I actually was doing some reading about that earlier today. I don't know if it was developed by a Japanese company or not. Apparently no one knows who it was actually developed by. There are no development credits on it. Like with X-Men on NES. And funny enough, Godzilla 2 apparently was not released in Japan. That's very interesting to me. So I wonder to myself if it was developed by a Western developer. But the cutting room floor says that there is Japanese text hidden in the game. So was it actually developed by someone in Japan? I don't know. See if I can just fly right by. Yeah, I played a lot of Godzilla 2 back in the day because Mark had it, and I borrowed it from him, just like the first one. And yeah, I would have much preferred, you know, an expansion on this concept. But, I don't remember not liking Godzilla 2. You know, it's just that it is a strategy game. It's a turn-based strategy game, and it's very, very different, and you guys know me, I don't play a lot of games like that. Actually, my game habits and tastes were a lot more varied growing up. So, like, I actually did play a lot of Godzilla 2. But, it definitely was not the sequel that I wanted, for sure. That was one of the earliest memories for me where a sequel was significantly less entertaining than the, you know, the first game of the series. What do you think, Akela? You tell me. You know my PC Engine Duo issues. What do you think, Akela? You tell me. You've witnessed my issues firsthand, so I think you know the answer to that question. You would like watching me play Pilot Wings? I would like to play Pilot Wings. That would be fun. That would be fun. I've never beaten the game legitimately, so I want to do that eventually. I have had a lot of people ask about that one. You're gonna say no, because I haven't burned any other discs. Because I haven't installed my 1X CDR drives yet to burn new discs for the PC Engine Duo. So the answer is no. Hey, society! Prefer to have the most scrolls from Michelangelo or Rav, since you barely use them. So less like, oh yeah, okay, I see, yeah, because they're a little bit harder to use. That makes sense. Whereas Leo and Donatello are a little bit easier to use. You can keep them alive longer normally. You kind of give the weaker characters the scrolls to keep them alive longer. That makes sense. It's actually a good strategy, it seems like. Leo, there is a helicopter. It's the final levels. You play the helicopter night missions. On Pilot Wings, the first one. Did you forget that? It's a top-down. Yeah. Yes, big oops, Leo. Leo. Man, I forgot who I was watching. It was a couple years ago. Someone was playing Pilot Wings on Twitch, and they were doing the night missions. They definitely seemed like they could be a little on the frustrating side of things. I warped to the night missions back in the day with a password, but I never actually got there legitimately myself, so... Okay. Gotta try to fly over this thing. There we go. You can sometimes get it to fly off the screen like that, which is nice. Alright, let's just use our shmup skills here and just dodge things. It's a perfectly viable strategy. The automatic item pickups is definitely a flaw with the game in your opinion, although it's otherwise a very good game. A few years ago you stumbled upon an SNES game called Pushover. Yeah, I never heard of that one. Flying around the US map with a rocket boat is a good memory of mine for Pilot Wing 64. You play an ant, you need to arrange domino stones in order. Interesting. Alright, so for this one again, we're gonna try to just keep Godzilla and Mothra together. So... just gonna push Godzilla up this way. From pretty much here on out, I'm gonna keep them both together. You can actually destroy some of these buildings, sort of. Objects like this, it's good for me to just jump up and use my tail swipe. I had mentioned that early in the playthrough that we're going to be doing that more often as the game goes on. So in the first half of the game, these levels get bigger and bigger. And then late into the game, they actually get smaller, which is kind of interesting. It's like the developers knew that they kind of made things go on for a little too long for an NES game. Who's the final boss of the game? It is Ghidorah, or Ghidorah. And Ghidorah appears on the final map of the game. Boom. One hit. So this is what I was talking about. Stodgy had made the point that a lot of people might not like this game because of, you know, being huge characters and... you know, being bombarded by lots of tiny enemies, but like when you know how to avoid lots of these tiny enemies and how to deal with them, like boom, kick that with my foot. You can actually get through these levels pretty smoothly, and it's pretty satisfying, in my opinion. Just ripping right through the stages. Again, my biggest complaint with the game is just that the game's too long. It gets very repetitious. And then having to refight all the bosses again, too, could be seen as a downside. But I find pretty much all the bosses to be fun to fight, so I don't mind it. Alright, come on. Get off me. Get off me so I can kill you. Thank you. Hey, Vince! You played Pushover on DOS. Fun little game. Nice. Okay, let's bring Mothra up to where Godzilla is. There we go. Of course, this thing I might... Nope, can't. I was gonna say I could probably fly over it. This is one of those things I mentioned earlier where you definitely cannot fly over them. This one, though, I can probably fly over. Yep, just like that. Did Godzilla ever go to different planets? You mean in the films? I have no idea. I do actually. I feel like there might have been something like that, because you know Godzilla did deal with an outside alien race. It's possible they might have gone to their home planet or something in one of the movies. I don't remember. Once he went to Planet X, says Carl. Okay, cool. All right, confirmed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring Mothra over here, just like so. In Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. Okay. Uh-oh, not good. Alright, I just need to take this part slow. I've kind of got myself in a bind right here. There we go. Hey, Ener, welcome back. Yeah, good to have you. Yeah, the Technodrome is quite frustrating. I'm basically gonna have to save state practice it when I go to learn that game again. I've got to learn the early parts first, though, because it's been many years since I really put time into that game. Team of T. Yes, the first team of T, yep. You made it to the last hallway in the Technodrome. Nice. This is your guilty pleasure game. No need to feel guilty about liking this one. There, we have to jump. Now, one other trick you can do here is you can use your breath and push right through it, but you still will lose quite a bit of health. But thankfully, the game just drops health pellets like crazy, so it's not really a big deal. Unless you're already low on health for some reason. Speaking of the small enemies, you'll notice how Godzilla can also just, you know, push right through some of them, especially when he's in an attack motion already. And be sure to use your breath a lot, too. Jump, go under it. Just go right through it. Yeah, it looks like when you use your breath, you can just cut right through it. You have a lot of control, actually, in this. It's just about knowing how your attacks work and whatnot. And that's where I think a lot of people kind of struggle with this game, is they feel like they don't have control, but they actually do. You know? Right now, I'm going to use my breath to just pummel this guy really quick. Jump up, use my tail. Boom. And punch the projectiles as they come at me. And kick them. Try to find the hitbox. I'm going to use my breath. There we go, we got it. Just about knowing exactly how to play the game. Use my breath, and then we're just going to use our tail. Because Godzilla's not the best against this guy. Yeah, exactly. You don't... it's hard to dodge, but you don't really need to. It's more about, like, counteracting the enemies with the proper attacks. Enemies low on the ground, you want to use your tail, or you just want to kick. Some enemies, you have to jump, duck, and then use your tail swipe in the air. Others you want to punch or jump and punch. Sometimes you just want to jump and kick. There's going to be a boss, Gigan, later on where I'm just going to kick him in the face over and over. That's the winning strat, you know? It's about knowing exactly what to do. I always start these fights with some breath. So punching this guy is also a good strat, but kicking also seems to work really well too. And a lot of these bosses, you're just going to trade hits. There's no way around it. Yeah, it's just like in the movies, actually. They pretty much always trade hits. It's a back and forth. Alright, let me bring Godzilla up here this way. It's always an underrated strategy. In games and in life. This is true. Especially when it comes to computers. You know? Give it a good jump and kick, and it'll start working again. Never fails. Jump, pass underneath, and then you're good to go. Yeah, it does seem like if you're kicking, like, you won't get pushed back by the enemies. Alright. Go do that. Hey, Zopmeister, man. Another fan of Godzilla. Awesome, dude. I love it, man. I like how we've actually gotten quite a few people in here that enjoy this game. I was expecting to have a lot of haters in here today, but it seems like this game does have its fan base, which is good to see, because it is a fun game. So again, just corner Hedorah. I can do some tail swipes if I want. You can also punch its projectiles. Yeah, I was looking on the cutting room floor today, and apparently the Japanese version is a little more difficult. Your punches with Godzilla's attacks don't come out as quickly, apparently, in the Japanese version. Also, you can only move, I think, one space at a time per character. Which is very interesting, which means the game's going to go on for a little bit longer, because you're menuing more often than you are in the international version. Also, Godzilla and Mothra, I don't know if they start off with less health, but some of the bosses start off with less health in the North American version, so they go down faster. Very interesting stuff. As you can see with this guy, I like to just pummel him in the face. When he gets up on his hind legs, you can't really do anything. You can't really do any damage. So let's switch over to Mothra. Hey, K-Dogs! What's going on, dude? The Mixer Man. How's your streaming been going, dude? I haven't been able to pop in lately, because my work schedule changed, so it's been a little more difficult. Why make the Japanese version harder? Well, maybe it's not so much an issue of them making it harder. It might have been the first version, and they refined it for the North American release. Yeah, these little UFOs are probably some of the more annoying enemies in the game, because they come out from behind, and they also come out really fast, so it's difficult to avoid them, whether you're Mothra or Godzilla. Jeez, man, Mothra sheds like my cat. Gonna need a Roomba to comb over this game as after we're done here. Although instead of having it run for about an hour, we're gonna have to have it run for a week. Clean up this mess. We're just gonna sit on the floor here and just shoot. I think it's cool how they put so much stuff in here. Being able to choose your path through a map, kind of shmup stage with lots of enemies, and a beat 'em up part where the enemy monsters look great. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, when I played this last week, I was kind of surprised at how much stuff is in this game. They really crammed it chock full of, you know, different enemy types and background types, the huge sprites and whatnot. And apparently they wanted to add more as well. If you read the article on the cutting room floor, there's you were supposed to be able to play as another character. There's supposed to be a third character, and there was supposed to be another boss as well. And you can actually access them in the you know, by doing, I think, a RAM hack or something like that. I'm not sure how you go about doing that. I think you can load it up in an emulator and access a very specific RAM location that way. And then you'd be able to load up the third playable character. And then check out the other boss that was supposed to be included. And this was an 88 game too. Like this, we're not talking like 91 or 92 where, you know, bigger sprites and things like that were a little more normalized. Yeah, it's just this game's chock full of content. It's cool. There was clearly a lot of care put into this game, I think. Godzilla games in general are always a little weird. You know, they've been all over the place over the years. But this one seems like one of the better made ones, particularly for the time. K-Dog's always enjoyed it, just never had the time to finish it. And we're just gonna cut through like this. Oh yeah, the GameCube Godzilla game. Yeah, I want to play that. I never actually got to play it back in the day. I remember having a demo of it on our GameCube kiosk back in the day when I worked at Electronics Boutique. But I never messed around with it. I think there's an Xbox version of that too, right? Definitely gonna have to try that. Okay, so I went ahead and used my breath there because I was gonna get knocked back into that that orb, which most certainly would have taken away most of my health. So. All right, Mothra time. See if we can just fly past most of these things, most of these enemies and whatnot. Yeah, the end. I like the ending in the game. It's. Yeah, I actually posted a screenshot last week on my Twitter page of the ending. It shows Godzilla and Mothra looking into space. I actually should just be flying down below. Mothra could just fly underneath these things. Yeah, Serpent Sword, welcome to the stream. Just fly under. Oh, what did I get hit by? What am I getting hit by? Was it the projectiles from the sky? I don't know. Game can be weird like that sometimes. Fortunately, a lot of stuff in this game doesn't really do a lot of damage to you, so it's not the end of the world. Now, you do have to, you know, watch out for the things that do damage to you. Mainly the orbs that fly through the sky randomly. Oh yeah, I'm gonna always be playing the oldies. Absolutely. I've been playing some more newer games lately because they've just been donations, not necessarily I was planning on doing them. But there is some stuff like Streets of Rage 4 I was gonna do anyway, because it's related to the oldies. It's directly related to them. And some oldies I've done recently. I mean, I did Streets of Rage 1 and 3 just within the last 6 or 7 months or so. Alright, I have to destroy these things. There we go. Yeah, more oldies coming soon. I mean, I just posted a Let's Play today, by the way, guys. Cybercore on the TurboGrafx 16. That's an oldie. And then I plan on doing a CDI stream sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'd say. And I plan on practicing for some NES Let's Plays and all sorts of stuff like that, so... yeah, we're actually making decent progress. We've only been playing for an hour and a half. But what I'm going to do, guys, is actually take a quick restroom break. So I will be right back. So don't go anywhere. Alright. Fester's Quest. Yeah, I hear the big problem with Fester's Quest is the lack of auto fire. Like, and I just from playing like the first 20 minutes of the game, I totally understand what people are talking about. Alright, so what we're going to do is try to move Godzilla and Mothra evenly, especially on this level, because you can get surrounded by enemies extremely fast. Hey, Nihilus! See ya, Gazora. I'm surprised it didn't fight me. It moved right in front of me, but it didn't fight me. Yeah, I definitely want to try to go through Fester's Quest sometime as well. That's another one of those on my list that I've wanted to go through and finish. Because I've heard it's a tough game, and I want to see for myself how tough it is. I've never watched a long play of it or anything like that. I just remember from my own personal experience that, you know, there is a ton of button mashing. I think the AVS actually has an auto-fire option built in. I need to look into that just to use on that game. For certain games, I become less apprehensive of using auto-fire plugins. It just depends on the game. Hey, Jeff. The music in this makes it sound so much more of an adventure. Yeah, it does, actually. The music in this game is actually very good, if you ask me. Because it's not only, like, catchy and whatnot, like good classic 8-bit music, you know, should be. It's also very fitting for the moments, like the boss fights. You know? Like, this tune is very eerie, which is very fitting for this guy I'm fighting. The way he looks and whatnot. Alright, let's just go ahead and do that. Ooh, a modern King of the Monsters could be cool, with hopefully less random gameplay. I've tried to get in those games so much. I like what they stand for. I like what they're trying to be, but I don't like the gameplay. It just feels like a random button mashing fest that you can't actually have control over. And maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it's one of those games I just need to, you know, talk to an expert player about, or something like that. I don't know. Hey, Tony. Yeah, Blaster Master is another one I need to actually finish. I've never beaten that game. I think I made it to the final level, actually. Probably about 6 or 7 years ago. It's been a long time now. Nice, that was fast. Yeah, speaking of other Godzilla games, I played Godzilla Godzilla Generations Maximum Impact on Dreamcast for the first time this week. And it's not nearly as cool as I had hoped. But it's still, you know, for a Godzilla game, it's okay. It's a little bit like an on-rails shooter. It's a shame you can't just fly on top of that guy. That would be better. Yeah, Blaster Master Zero is really cool. I had it on Switch. Never got too far, but I actually did a Nintendo Switch stream when the Switch first came out. Actually, it was about a month after it came out. And, okay, could you stop doing that, please? Thank you. You keep doing that, I can't hit you. And I think I actually played a little bit of Blaster Master Zero on that. And then, wasn't there a sequel to that? Didn't they make a second one? Oh, it just timed out. Timed out right at the very end. When it times out and you go back in, they get a little bit of health back. There we go. Mothra leveled up. Pretty sure it's a set timer. Okay, so I actually don't want to be fighting Gigan with Mothra. I want to be fighting him with Godzilla, so this could actually be a problem. And this is why I want to keep Godzilla and Mothra together. Alright, I'm getting lucky here, not getting hit by his lasers. Yeah, Blaster Master blasting again. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about, Jeff. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's third person in full 3D. It's also kind of difficult to know where you're going. It was a budget game though when it came out. It was like $10 when it came out. You know, so for that it's fine, but it's not, I think, what people wanted. Alright, so Gigan, we're just gonna boot him in the face. So again, some monsters are better fought with certain, you know, with Godzilla or Mothra. So for Gigan, you're better off fighting him with Godzilla if you can. And when he does his blades, I can use my breath. Okay, could you stop doing that, please? Thank you. Bosses like Gigan, if they get you cornered, you are screwed. You are so screwed. I want to corner you, but you're not letting me. There we go. Let me do it before it times out. Good. It's always satisfying destroying the bosses before it times out. Hey, Nihilus! Thanks for joining up as a channel member, dude. Thanks, man. Now you get to use some of those emotes in the chat. Yeah, so Nyla, since you're a channel member now, watch out for your notifications. Because YouTube should give you a notification when when I post a new Let's Play. So I posted Pinball Arcade Last Action Hero today. So that should pop up in your notifications feed. You'll get Let's Plays early now, too. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. The time limit is not listed on the screen, Tony. Alright, you know what I think I'm gonna do is just get Mothra to the end. I'm not gonna warp her out yet. Because I want to make sure Godzilla can kind of get through safely because of these orbs. Or whatever the hell they're called. I'm just going to keep calling them orbs, because that's what I've been calling them for the whole playthrough. Between Trevor and Doomguy? The left one is Castlevania 1. The middle one is Castlevania 3. Trevor is the middle one. Simon is the one on the right. I should actually probably get rid of one of those Castlevania emotes. I think I really only need one. I mean, really, I should get rid of all of them. I should try to come up with some more meaningful emotes that have, you know, substance. Like, Doomguy is fine. If someone says something weird that's questionable, I use the Doomguy emote, because that's, like, the face that he's giving. Like, what? What are you saying? What are you on about? What are you smoking? That's the Doomguy face. I'm thinking Mega Man's face is probably fine. Maybe I should do, just do the faces of other characters from other games. Maybe I should just do the Quake guy face, Ranger face. Maybe do, BJ's face from Wolfenstein. Alright, please move up here. I'm not moving back down there. Thank you. Jeez. What was this AI doing? There we go. Tony likes Trevor better. I'm embarrassed for making that mistake. As you should be. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, we have to just get through this without dying. If we die, I have to do the whole level over again. Boom, boom. See, that's what I'm talking about. And then breath. This is what Godzilla's breath looks like after using Listerine. He's like fish out of water. Basically. Gazora is one of the most pointless enemies in the game, because he doesn't really do any damage to you. It's kind of interesting. Alright, We'll just fling Godzilla over this way and we'll fight Godzilla again. Yes, the cool mint Listerine. It's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, it sounds like one of those characters they just invented for this game. I wasn't sure if all these monsters were from Godzilla movies. It's been so long since I've really kept up with the franchise. But it is a fitting monster, you know, with the rest. I do like the inclusion of Godzilla. I get points for getting hit? Are you serious? I just realized I get points just for getting hit. Alright, get off of me, please. Oh, it timed out. Oh, really? So it's not... Okay, so all these monsters are from Toho movies. They just might not be from Godzilla movies specifically. I didn't know that. That's really cool. That's actually really cool. I don't know, it's just satisfying watching his health bar drop bit by bit. And then the finishing touch. Well, thanks for targeting Godzilla. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of, your kick definitely takes priority and has some sort of, like, defensive benefit. Because when I'm kicking and I get hit by a projectile, I don't get knocked back. Like, if I kick and hit right at the same time, it's very interesting. Trying to figure out which way I want to go. Well, I did want to keep Godzilla and Mothra together. So I'll just do it like this. And hopefully the other enemies will just kind of loop around. Which they sometimes do. Varen never faced Godzilla. He had a small cameo in Destroy All Monsters. Yeah, so maybe what I'll show off at the very end is there is actually a password. Destroy All Monsters. If you type that in, it'll take you to the first level, and all the bosses in the game will be on the playfield. It's really cool. So if we have time afterwards, I might be able to show that off. So I think there's another level after this, where Mecha Godzilla is in there again. And then I think we go to the final level. I think that's it. I hope that's it. I hope I'm not missing a level. There is one level we go to where it's just all of the cyber bases. Would I ever play the Godzilla fighting games? Yeah, I'd play Godzilla almost anything if I enjoy it. There are some of the fighting games I do want to try, like I want to try the PC Engine one that Akela had mentioned earlier. Akela thinks that game sucks, and so I want to try it out. He's like, it's so terrible. And I watched a video of it, I was like, I don't know, it looks pretty fun to me. I want to see it and try it for myself. I just got to get my PC Engine Duo reading CDRs right. So I actually have a, I had to buy an old one-time CD burner from like 2000. I just got it in the mail yesterday. I'm hoping that it'll work. Apparently the PC Engine Duo is really fickle with reading CDRs. My current burner burns at 16 times speed. So I've already got my Duo recapped and had the CD, laser tweaked and whatnot, so... but music is cutting out when I play Duo rips or burns. Or CD burns. Not just Duo discs, which are Super CD, but just regular CDs too. So we'll see. If I get it working, I will try that Godzilla. I know there's some more modern Godzilla fighting games, like there was the Destroy All Monsters, or whatever it was called, on GameCube and then Xbox. Yeah, pretty sure it got an upgraded port on Xbox. That actually version might have even come out on PS2, I don't remember. But yeah, there are some Godzilla fighting games I would like to try. Yeah, I never played Super Godzilla on Super Nintendo. I do want to try it out. I might actually try that out soon, just because I'm kind of on a little bit of a Godzilla kick right now. Like I said, I played Godzilla Generations Maximum Impact on Dreamcast, and it's okay. Not great, but it's interesting. I think its biggest problems are its load times. It just takes forever to go from level to level. If it was really fast, like if it transitioned really quickly like a lot of the other Sega arcade games are on Dreamcast, it would be a lot more tolerable and a lot more fun. PS2 got Save the Earth and Unleashed. Right on. Hey, John Evan. Godzilla Kaizu Daikessen for Super Famicom is a fun little fighting game. Okay, I'll check that out too. Hey, see ya, Carl. Take care. Thank you for hanging out. See, this is a problem. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, jeez. I really have to have Mothra if I'm going to beat Mecha Godzilla. But this is also why I wanted to have Mothra and Godzilla close together. That way, if something like that happens, where Mothra has half her health taken away, Godzilla can, come from behind and save the day. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Where's the hitbox? I feel like sometimes the hitbox takes a little while to appear after it goes into this alternate form. Come on, hitbox. Alright, you know what? No, see, I want to destroy it, though, because you do... You know, I can get a level up from this thing, so... There we go. And we got some health back. Screw you, Gigan, for ripping on Mothra. Godzilla's like, I will feel no remorse for this. For my actions. Uh-oh, that's not good. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna refill my drink here. Got my McDonald's cup I'm filling up with Diet Pepsi. Thanks, Tony. When did I become a Godzilla fan? I don't really consider myself a fan of a lot of things. I just like things. I was a kid. I was a kid when I got into Godzilla. And I was mainly into Godzilla because of my dad. Because, you know, Godzilla... When did the original Godzilla come out? Was it like the late 50s or something? Or the mid 50s? Godzilla's been around forever. So my dad saw Godzilla movies growing up. And then my neighbor Mark, who was in the chat earlier, he was into Godzilla. He was a big fan of Godzilla. Like an actual fan. He'd buy like figures and stuff like that. And so yeah, I watched movies growing up as a kid. And then I played the NES game a lot. And I played the sequel. But, you know, after that, I kind of fell out of it. I did watch some of the movies that came out in North America. Like I remember watching... going to the theater and watching Godzilla 2000 when it released. Hey, Red Zeo Ranger, thank you for that tip, dude. Seriously. Thank you very much, sir. How are you doing today, man? Good to see you here. And then I did watch the new Godzilla back in 2014. Was it 2014? Jesus, has it been that long already? Yeah, you know, so I've, like, had slight interest in, like, some of the newer films and whatnot. But it's not something, like, I'd call myself, like, a huge fan of or anything. I like some of the stuff. You know, because I grew up with it. The NES game I legitimately like, though. Like, as just a video game. Not because it's a Godzilla thing. I like the game itself quite a bit. You know, the gameplay, the graphics, the music, hits all the right buttons for me. But yes, for those of you guys wondering, did Austin become a Godzilla fan overnight? What is this black magic? It's like, no, it's just something that's always been with me, so... A little bit of an Austin history lesson for you guys, I guess, for some of you. Of course, some of this stuff would probably be better known if I, you know, was doing more old-style YouTube videos where I would just talk about random things I grew up with and stuff like that. But I don't really do that much on my channel these days. Alright, so I'm going to actually move Godzilla... I'm going to move him out this way, just because I don't want him to fight Mechagodzilla first without Mothra being close by. Yeah, things are okay, Red. Thanks for asking, dude. Yeah, good point, Ener. A lot of kids I knew growing up, you know, in the 80s, liked Godzilla. I mean, what was there to not like? I mean, it was big hulking monsters duking it out with each other. Oh, man. Tony's never seen a Godzilla movie. If Tony was to see a Godzilla movie, guys, I know there are some actual fans out there. What would you where would you recommend him start? I don't know. Based on what I've seen, I would probably say start with the old black and white one. I don't know. Because that's like more like a straight up horror movie. I need to watch that again, man. I haven't seen that in so long. Yeah, so Mothra is really good against Mechagodzilla. Godzilla is not. So if I can get Mothra nearby, then, you know, I'll have a chance of surviving with Godzilla. And then what I'm going to do is just wait for the other monsters to move close to me so I don't have to, you know, retread ground that I've already covered. Or make, you know, backwards progress. Have to go backwards. Because that just wastes time. And this is a long game. I don't want to waste too much time. So much slowdown here. So there's actually something I wanted to mention during this playthrough. Apparently, some dude had turned Godzilla, the NES game, into a creepypasta. And apparently that was a popular creepypasta I had never even heard of. Not that I really follow creepypastas. And then someone went out of their way to actually hack the NES game and make a PC version of NES Godzilla based on the creepypasta that the original NES Godzilla spawned. And there's... I don't think it was ever fully finished, but there's what seems like a fully playable version of it for download. So I'm going to try that sometime. And it runs at full 60 FPS, it never slows down apparently. I don't know if there's flicker or anything like that, but I'll let you guys know how that is in the future. Yeah, see, there we go. Mechagodzilla is... let's see, what do I want to do here? Let's just do Mothra first. CM Retro, it is, all my links for stuff like that are in, I think, every video description. So for anyone that's ever interested in that, just check the video descriptions and you'll see the links to stuff like my Twitch. I should also have a link to it on my main channel page as well. Although, Twitch is where Salty Austin resides most of the time. Twitch is where I just kill time, and that's it. I don't have, you know, planned streams typically. And sometimes I get really pissed off. Someone just followed me over on Twitch, I heard the notification. That's probably CM Retro. It's just an FYI for anyone going over there. And I'm probably going to start streaming there less as well. For some of those reasons I just mentioned. Gotta start having more balance in my life. But yeah, I did get an idea yesterday while streaming on Twitch though. And I was going to run this by people on YouTube. I thought about bringing back the long play with commentary. Those are some of the earliest gameplay videos I did on my channel. Basically where I record the gameplay, then do a commentary on top afterwards. But then using that, instead of instead of just doing dedicated recordings, just capture my live streams from Twitch, because sometimes I do impressive things on Twitch. I get a 1cc for the first time or something like that. I could take that and do a commentary on it, and I don't know. So, if anyone's interested in that sort of thing, let me know what you would think about that. So with Mothra, you can just sort of shoot Mechagodzilla in the neck, like so. Sometimes he'll shoot diagonally and you'll get hit. But for the most part, you should be fine. Alright, see ya, Spectre. Take care. More content is always a win, in your opinion. Okay. I don't know if it would be more content. It would just be a different type of content to go alongside the Let's Plays. Because part of the idea was that there are some games I'm never going to be able to Let's Play and still beat in one sitting. Like, I'm working on Super Contra Arcade right now, and that game is stupid hard. And while I can get a 1cc on it if I just practice it enough, I'm not going to be able to do it consistently enough to where I can Let's Play it and just expect to get a 1cc like I can with an NES game, you know? So what I could do is just play it a bunch on Twitch, get the 1cc, and then do a commentary on it, and talk about my strats and whatnot. Yeah, so it would be the same type of content as the Let's Plays, it just wouldn't be me talking and playing at the same time, and sometimes maybe it would just be like a clip from my Twitch, you know, one of my Twitch streams. What I did think about doing, though, is just doing dedicated Twitch streams where I have no mic, and I have a template just for trying to get 1 credit clears, and then take those and do long plays with commentaries. So you would watch a video commentary, okay. Tony says go for it. Let's go ahead and try to kick, because again, kicking seems to have, like, better defensive properties if I get hit at just the right moment. I'm trying to hit him towards the middle, that seems to be working better. Okay, Godzilla actually doesn't seem too bad against him. I was getting wrecked by Mechagodzilla last week. I just have to be hitting him in the middle. I see exactly what's going on. Yeah, so again, for the people that don't know, I actually, when I got my first capture card in, it was like late 2010, the first videos I did with those capture card, with that capture card was long plays with post commentaries. So my first long plays were Super Castlevania 4 and Doom on 32X, and then I just added commentaries after the fact. And the reason I started doing Let's Plays was I got lazy. Let's Plays stemmed from laziness, where I didn't want to do a commentary after the fact, because it, you know, if it was a 2-hour-long video, that meant I had to spend 4 hours. So I had to spend 4 hours between playing the game and then recording the commentary. When doing the Let's Play, cut the time in half. So I saved a lot of time. But there are some games where it's just too hard for me to try to get a good, consistent run, and I don't want to post anything if I don't get a good, consistent run. Because I feel like it's kind of pointless, you know? I want my content to have some kind of value, even if it is lazy content. You know, I want to be able to show strategies that are useful, and, you know, if I don't get a good, clean run, or somewhat clean run, then it's not much to really show off. So yeah, that's the idea. It'll allow me to cover some more difficult games, like I'm trying to work on a 1 credit clear on Radiant Silvergun, for instance, on Twitch. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do a Let's Play! That's what I'm talking about there, right there, guys. That was a good demonstration. 3/4 of my health gone in one swoop. But yeah, like, I'll never get a 1cc on a Radiant Silvergun Let's Play. Like, screw that. I'm not wasting my time trying to do that. But I will get it eventually in Twitch practice sessions, and then I can take that 1cc and then commentate on that. So, yeah. Yeah, so I am going to do a community tab post probably this week, maybe even tomorrow, asking about that, and see what people think. Yeah, I've probably did at least like 20 or 30 long play videos before I did Let's Plays. And I do have a long plays playlist still that you can access if anyone's curious. You can see all those old long play videos. Yeah, and you know what I might do is actually just adjust my Twitch template to where like you get a cleaner gameplay image, and then what I can do is instead of just showing the Twitch feed exactly, I can just crop it out in my video editing software, and then you won't even know that it's coming from a Twitch stream. Hey, Retro Simon, good to see you again, man. Welcome back. Yeah, there are some games that people want me to play on YouTube, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do it like the way that people want it to be done. You know, get a good clear in the game. Now, doing like a shmups variety stream and only getting a few levels in or 1 credit, that's fine, because then we switch over to the next game. But if like a dedicated stream of like Radiant Silvergun is not gonna end well, to say the least. So yeah, I could turn it into a dedicated long play with commentary afterwards. Alright, let's go ahead and just get Godzilla out of here. I think Mothra is going to be fine. And I don't think there are any other monsters, because it hasn't switched over to any other monsters. Yeah, so the next map, I believe, is another small one. But it's all, like, cyber bases like this. And I think they're all black and white like this, too. Actually, no, they might not all be black and white. Maybe they are. I don't remember. Yeah, kicking seems to be really good in this game. It overrides some knockback, which is very important if you want to keep making progress. That's actually a really good tip that I didn't even notice last week. You watch my videos because the taste in games is similar to yours. Okay. Dave, I like this game a lot, man. Yeah, I've always enjoyed this game. I meant to try to do this a long time ago on my channel here, but the idea was to do a dedicated Let's Play. This was before I was live streaming on YouTube, and the game was just too long for that. At least not to make it a, you know, not without being a multi-parter. But, you know, now that I am streaming lots, or I have been for several years now. Damn, almost 4 years streaming on YouTube now. Come the end of 2016, it'll have been 4 years on YouTube streaming. It's crazy. Yeah, no, I've always enjoyed this game, man. I'm just intentionally kicking here because it works really well in this area. Alright, jump to avoid that. Go ahead and just use my breath. So the games are interesting and the gameplay is good. Also seeing my reactions to games is nice. Probably like a lot of others, you subbed when you first watched my Castlevania How to Beat vids. I like the idea of adding commentary about strats and such. Okay. Yeah, my long play videos and stuff like that have always been, and my Let's Plays have all, well, my Let's Plays not so much. My Let's Plays have been a long, like, evolving thing. The long plays were always about gameplay tips for the most part. My Let's Plays, since they were live on the spot, I would give my opinions and stuff like that. on those types of videos, in these last couple of years, I've been trying to get away from talking about opinions, because opinions are like assholes, you know, everyone's got one, and it doesn't really matter that much. You know, you should play and just experience games for yourself. You don't need to hear my opinion. What I want to do is just show people how to play games better, you know, and I think if you can play games better, a lot of games are a lot more enjoyable. Like Godzilla is a great example here. A lot of people just have no idea what the hell they're doing in this game. But when you do know what you're doing, I think it's a pretty fun game. You know, so my Let's Plays are definitely geared more towards that now, specifically. But it's interesting that you actually say you discovered the channel through the Castlevania How to Beat series. Like, that was just last year, and not many people watched that video. And I haven't gotten much feedback on it. Outside of the initial week that it went live, I haven't gotten much feedback on it at all, unfortunately. It's just kind of languished, which is a reason why, like, I haven't done more of those types of videos. Like, it's just, you know, people haven't, it's not getting out there, people aren't seeing it. Hard to justify putting in all the time to make a video like that when it's just gonna sit and no one's gonna be able to catch it. But yeah, I like talking about strategies and stuff like that. Absolutely. You've been subscribed for at least a week. Oh. Alright, I'd like to get past this part, guys. Wish the collision detection would work better sometimes, but can't win them all, I guess. Alright, just fly over that and get out of here. Or not fly over that, because these missiles keep hitting me. There we go. Yeah, sometimes it's just better to just go ahead and kill everything. You try to fly over them, you just get caught, and you get pushed back, you get stuck. Chances are, if you see me playing and enjoying a game, you'll like the game also. Nice source of games to play if there's something you've never played. Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Okay, I have to be careful here. Okay, we're good. Yeah, one thing I've also kind of gotten out of the habit of doing is covering games I don't really like. For one, when I'm playing games I don't like, I find it really difficult to Let's Play them and provide meaningful commentary. You know, if I can beat a game consistently, chances are I like it at least a little bit. But there are still some recently that I've done that have been a bit of a struggle, if you will. I'm gonna bring Mothra up next to Godzilla. Like Cybercore that I posted this week, that was one of those. It was actually a bit of a struggle to just do the recording because, it's just kind of an average shooter, in my opinion. So I didn't have the greatest time trying to learn it and do the commentary. But generally, I try to get out of the habit. I've been trying to get out of the habit of doing games like that I just don't care for that much. Which is why you guys haven't seen me do, like, a truly, truly bad game in a long time, because, you know, life's too short for that crap. And I've got a lot of good games to cover. Alright, see ya, John Evan. That's actually one good thing about getting out of focusing on opinions in my videos and just focusing more on strategy is that, like, I don't have to talk about the qualities of the game anymore, for the most part. Sometimes I do. I mean, if it's a game I really enjoy, I'll still gloat about it. And I'll still give the occasional, you know, random opinion, just to fill some air. But for the most part, you know, it's not the focus of the videos anymore. It's about the gameplay and the strategy. And because I don't feel like I need to talk about my opinions anymore. I don't really need to focus on games that aren't really that good. Or games that I don't like. I used to cover games I don't like and just tear them apart. But I'd rather, you know, spend my time differently. Alright. We'll fight Hedora. Boom, 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 breath. See, there's a rhythm to it, guys. And I can use my breath again, just like so. Tail, tail. Use my breath again. The nice thing about leveling up and extending your power bar is that you can use your breath multiple times back to back. Alright, jump, and then breath. There is totally rhythm and rhyme to this game. And I think that's what, deep down, is what I enjoy about the game. It is very rhythmic. It's like tap, 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 whoosh, tap, 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 whoosh. You know, there's a definitive rhythm to it that you get into as you play. Like Zool? I have a love-hate relationship with Zool. Or Zool 2, specifically. I like the early parts of the game. I don't like the later parts of the game. Like, I actually really like the early parts of the game. The first 3 levels in particular. I really, really don't like the other 3 levels in the game. I think it's just 3. Because level 4, I think, is Snaking Pass. Level 5 is Mount Ices. And then level 6... Yeah, I think it's only got 6 levels in the game. Unless I'm forgetting one. I think it's only 6. My Robotica playthrough. Even though the game seems very boring to you, you like to play through it because you never heard of the game. Nice. Yeah, the game can be boring. I don't know if I posted it in the description of the video, but I actually went on Twitch immediately afterwards, after getting some food, and I ran through the game again that same night, and I ended up beating the game in like 90 minutes. Yeah, I mean, when you know what you're doing, I think it's kind of fun to just blaze right through. But it can be a bit of a slog when you're going through it for the first time. Currently playing your guilty pleasure game, Clicker Heroes. What is that? Never heard of that. Let's move Godzilla. I don't know which way I want to go. Guess I'll move him over here. Jump. Get rid of that. Tail swipe's great for both those enemies. Both of those turrets. What is a clicker game? I don't know what a clicker game is. I've never heard that term before. Godzilla, master of jump kickers. Another level up. Hey Tony, I didn't realize it, but you upgraded to a gold icon on YouTube. I don't know how long you've been gold, but you are gold now, and for some reason I just now noticed it. And Retro Simon is a magenta. He's been multiple months now. You click, earn gold, level heroes, and click more. Okay. That still doesn't help me very much, but alright. Idle game has become a more common term for it. Clicker game stems from cookie clicker, one of the first. Okay. I'll have to actually see gameplay to understand what you're talking about. Alright, we're going to bring Godzilla up here and then see what the monsters do. So I got a friend, I'm missing absolutely nothing, okay. Oh, thanks, Sawmeister. One of my friends is supposed to come over tonight to help me out with one of my pinball machines, and I don't know exactly what time he's coming over, so if I have time after the stream, I'll probably go live on Twitch and try to do some NES stuff, because there's stuff I need to practice for. By the way, thanks to anyone that responded to my question on my community tab this week, asking what 8 and 16-bit games would you like to see me cover? So that gets me in the right direction for future uploads. I mean, I've got my own personal list, but if there's stuff I'm thinking about doing that you guys already want to see, then I'm much more likely to do that. So thanks to everyone that participated in that. If you haven't participated yet, go to my community tab on my YouTube channel page, and then post a response. There's so much stuff happening on the screen, it's eating my inputs now. And that's legitimately frustrating. Especially in a game when there's so much going on. It's not a game I would stream. I should maybe stream it for April Fool's Day or something. Although April Fool's Day is kind of far away now, so maybe next year. I've never actually done anything for April Fool's Day. I should probably do something goofy like that. Yeah, I probably won't ever stream an RPG here unless it's short, like a short action RPG, like an Ys game. Like, I've done multiple versions of Ys 3, for instance, but, yeah, an actual Final Fantasy game probably never happened. I've wanted to, but yeah, just the length, man. I'd have to do multiple, like, 9-hour streams if I want to keep it condensed into a manageable amount of videos. 6-hour Clicker Heroes stream. Swag and Sorcery is another good example. Secret of Mana stream was awesome. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good stream until the end. I got really salty because I was running out of time. And like half of my attacks weren't doing anything to the final boss. That was very aggravating. But yeah, I think it's still a fun playthrough overall though. I still love Secret of Mana. And I really need to play Seiken Densetsu 3. Pretty sure there's a translated ROM out there. No, there definitely is. I need to do that. Maybe not for YouTube, but I do want to play through it because I've never done it. Bionic Commando Rearmed. I don't think I have the first one. And I'd rather just do the first Bionic Commando on NES first. I barely ever played that game. No, I'm not buying Trials of Mana. Screw that. You put on a long stream for background noise. I mean, that's cool, dude. Give me that sweet, sweet watch time. Oh, yeah. No, I think that's actually how a lot of people watch those long streams. I don't think they're very attentive, which makes perfect sense. It's totally understandable, you know? Boot to the face, boot to the face. So when he brings out his blades, you can try to use your special as well. Because his blades, I feel like they're timed. When he uses them, they only come out for a certain amount of time. Boom. Yeah, so I should mention, I think level 16 is the maximum level in this game. For both characters. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, and you know, I should actually watch more speedrunners for tips and strats. I usually figure stuff out on my own, and I just kind of roll with that. But just to make some of my content a little more comprehensive, as much as just a live gameplay video can be, yeah, I should like look out for more tips like that. It'd be helpful to share among my viewers. Because, like, even though I feel like I'm really good about picking up a game and learning a lot of strats myself, I feel like there's still a lot more I could learn with these games from watching others play. Like all these strategies in Godzilla here that we're using, I just learned last week just through playing through the game. One of the interesting things about this game, though, is because you have to fight all the bosses so many times, you're getting constant practice as you play the game, learning new strategies on, you know, new efficient strategies, you know, to take the bosses down faster. So it's like you don't even need the save state practice. You have to just fight the bosses so much, you get all that repetition. That repetition and it's just built in. Yeah, I'm actually guilty of that on Symphony of the Night. I actually do backdash a lot in that game. And it's not because I watch speedrunners, I've just been doing it since, you know, the late 90s. Once I figured out I could backdash really quickly, I just started doing it intentionally. I would always, back in the day, I would always, you know, once I got really familiar with the game, I would go back to it and just see how fast I could go through it. Not as a quote-unquote speedrun, it's just I would just try to rip through the game as quickly as I personally could with the knowledge I had. Because it was fun. I mean, when I was growing up, I would just rip through so many games in an afternoon. You know, I'd finish one, then I'd go pop in another and beat that, and then I'd pop in another and beat that. So kind of what we're doing here, just ripping right through a game, is actually kind of normal for me. That's just kind of how I've always been. Yeah, and so when I learned to just keep backdashing, I would naturally just do that. So Symphony of the Night is in this weird gray area where, like, the backdash is kind of, for me, the intended way to play. But I know exactly what you mean. And I don't backdash everywhere, you know, especially when there are enemies in the room. You know, I do take my time when there are enemies in the room. But yeah, I've got, what, I think I've got 3 Symphony of the Night streams on my channel now. 360 version, PS1 version, and Saturn version. Maybe this October we'll do the PSP version, since I haven't done that one yet. Oh yeah, Super Metroid is very skill-based, absolutely. For sure. Yeah, we just played through that recently, too. That was great. That was a good time. Just tear through these things. Or not, you know? Breath, you know, you could work a little bit better. Maybe I need to drink some more Listerine. You technically don't drink Listerine. You swish it around in your mouth, have your mouth scream out in agony, and then you spit it back out. That's Listerine. Interested in GTA 5? Not really, because I've barely played any Grand Theft Auto game. I mean, even the original 2, I only played for a few minutes each. I've mentioned it multiple times on my channel, but, like, when I do play a Grand Theft Auto game, I want to go back and play Part 3. I remember people, like, raving about that game, and I also remember just watching people play it, and it actually just looking fun. Because you can... You know, it was one of those earlier open-world style sandbox games where you could just goof around. Like, you didn't even have to play the main story mode. You know, you didn't have to progress the main game to have fun. It was one of the earliest games that, you know, was like that. And one other thing I kind of like about Grand Theft Auto 3 as opposed to what I've seen with, like, Part 5 is that it's not that realistic. It's still very cartoonish, you know, in a way. So let me turn around for a second. Hold on. Yeah, I actually still have my original Xbox version of it. I had the double pack on Xbox. I couldn't remember if I actually sold it. I did a, you know, game and system purge a couple months ago. And I couldn't remember if that was one of the ones I sold, but it's not. I still have it. I just won't be able to YouTube stream it because of all the licensed music. That's something I'll definitely play on Twitch when I finally get around to it. Man, these three-way missile turrets are kind of annoying because they take a lot of hits and they just stop you. Like with Godzilla, you can't just kick him once and have him go down. And there's just a lot of them. Because GTA games have stories? What? Oh, man. Let's see. You mess around more instead of following the story, yeah. Just fly over that. Okay, maybe not. We're gonna have to just kill everything. There's just too much stuff happening to just fly right through everything. All right. You loved it at the time, but could never go back. Yeah, see, for me personally, I don't have too much trouble going back to a lot of those, like, Dreamcast, PS2, and Xbox, GameCube era games. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll fire it up sometime, and we'll see kind of how I feel about it. Yeah, there are a few very popular games from previous generations that I just skipped out on completely. In the PS1 era, it was Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid. I mean, hell, and Tomb Raider. There are actually quite a few big name games from back then I just completely skipped out on. Xbox, PS2 era, it's Grand Theft Auto 3 is a big one. I mean, there are lots of other ones, but because I already passed on them in previous generations, like Final Fantasy VII, I just never even gave two craps about them during the PS2 era, like Final Fantasy X. It's like, I had already skipped 7, so why do I need to care about 10? I still need to do 7, which is still, I think, one of the most well-regarded Final Fantasies, period. And it's a little bit kind of the same with Grand Theft Auto. And people didn't really care that much about Grand Theft Auto until Part 3 came out. Like, Parts 1 and 2 were just like, eh. They were more controversial for their subject matter than anything. As, like, gameplay didn't really seem all that special. Their top-down perspective and whatnot. Especially the first one on PlayStation just ran like ass. It just did not play very well. That was one reason why I didn't really get into the first two. But then Part 3 came out and it just exploded in popularity. Alright, this is our final level. So, I have a very particular strategy here. I keep Godzilla and Mothra together at all times. So you notice that it goes blocks of 2 and then 1 and then 2 and then 1. So I line Godzilla and Mothra up on the spots with 2. You'll basically go through all the level themes again. And then you'll fight King Ghidorah, or Ghidorah, at the very end. Now, Ghidorah is very challenging and very cheap. So I have one very particular strategy I'm going to use that I haven't really touched on too much yet. I touched on it briefly early in the playthrough, but I was mainly going to talk about it here at the very end. PS1 style is making a huge comeback. Really? Really? Huh. I know there's like the classic like retro PC style like Quake. That's coming back in first-person shooting circles, but I haven't seen much else like PS1 style specifically, you know, which was even more crude and even more crude than early PC 3D. Early PC polygons, I mean. Have I played The Messenger on stream? I have not. I actually don't have a platform with it anymore. I had it on Switch, but then I had to sell my Switch a little while ago. So I don't really have a way of playing it right now. I'm not going to buy another copy on a different system. But yeah, the idea was to try to eventually stream that game, because I know people want to see it. But yeah, no, I haven't done it yet. I never actually finished it either. I only played it for a couple hours. Oh, I didn't even read the rest of your comment, Retro Simon. Oh, so GTA 5 is free right now. Well, I'll go get that. I probably won't play it, but I do have an Epic Game Store account, mainly for Unreal Tournament, which I actually need to play more of soon. I binged it back in the winter, and then grabbed a couple of free games as well. Like when I upgraded my graphics card, I got a free Borderlands 3 code, which I registered, so I have that on my account. So if GTA 5 is free, I will add that. There are other free games I added too, because during the holiday season they were doing like a free game a day or something like that. I love how this level uses the title screen theme. It's one of my favorite tunes in the game. Yeah, guys, last level, and we are 2 hours and 45 minutes in. Actually, technically about 2.5 hours in. I started gameplay, I think, about 15 minutes into the stream. Alright, let's not get hit by that. That would be very bad. Yeah, all this chat we've been able to do today is kind of like, you know, made the game time pass a little bit easier, which is nice. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just move Godzilla here, because as we know, this enemy is very easy, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Ooh, that was close. Look at how much I can use my breath now. It's crazy. Yeah, PS1 style is really good for horror games. I agree. You're not cornering me. Did I not do any damage with that? I couldn't tell. I wasn't looking at his health bar. Oh, stop it. It tickles. He's not doing any damage to me. I love it. He's actually doing a teensy tiny bit of damage. Barely anything. Alright, come on, get off me so I can kill you. Ah, timed out because of that. There we go. Godzilla is maxed out. Why is his health not maxed out? That's weird. Actually, it was his power that's not maxed out. I'm not going to fight him. Well... No, it won't let me not... That's weird. No. Huh, that's weird. Okay, no, yeah, it says unable to advance as in you can't pass the enemy. I thought it just wasn't gonna let me move at all. Okay, never mind. We're fine. Oh, I didn't even see that thing. I was looking at chat when it came on screen. I just lost a good amount of health. But, you know, the nice thing about the game is that you do get a ton of health back. With how long and grindy the game is, I am actually kind of glad that they didn't get too strict on health. Because if they did, this game would be a major pain to go through. Alright, let's bring Mothra over here. And yes, we will fight with Mothra. We want to get Mothra up to level 16. Ooh, took some damage. Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to know or see if we can defeat King Ghidorah on our first try, because if we don't, we have to do this whole level over again. But with my strategy, I think we'll have a good chance of being able to do it. Wow, these are shooting out more projectiles now. Way more. Those wall turrets used to only shoot out, like, I think 4 or 5 projectiles. Now they're doing, like, a whole almost 360 degree. Or maybe they only do the 360 degree thing when you're, like, on top of them. Yeah, that's what's happening. Okay. That's what's happening. I see. So if you're directly in front of them, they only shoot like 4 projectiles. But if you're above them, they'll circle all the way around. It's good to know. Doesn't really have a huge effect on things, but it's still interesting. This is what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes you can get him stun locked. Not really stun locked, but he'll just stay here. And then he'll constantly try to shoot straight ahead. And his lasers will just go right over your head. He's gonna time out. Yep, I knew it. Which is fine. The monster's just moved, so that gives me another chance to kill him. So again, it goes player choice, then monster choice, or enemy choice. It's just back and forth constantly. No, you have to aim at his chin. If you shoot at his nose, it goes right through him. You have to shoot right, or his neck, technically, not his chin. He doesn't really even have a chin. He's got a pointy nose and no chin. He's chinless. So what I'm going to do here is actually just stay put. Because I could get into a situation where Godzilla just gets surrounded by like 3 guys. Yeah. Shoot him and shoot the actor's eyes. Yeah, see? Just like that. So again, we're just going to let them advance forward. And there we go. So now it's 2-on-1 instead of, you know, potentially 1-on-2. Not even gonna bother using my my special. No point. Is Mothra level? Oh, Mothra's level 16. I should probably have just used Godzilla. It would be faster. It's okay. We'll destroy him. It's not a big deal. Good time to drink my soda, though. Press B to win. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and just stay here again. And I don't think King Ghidorah actually moves from his spot at the very end of the playfield. Yeah, there are some bosses that just hate being shot in the feet. Varen is one. So you can just play as Mothra and just, you know, destroy them easily. That's right, home stretch. Alright, let's go ahead and switch with Godzilla. It looks like you have critical hits as well, because occasionally I'm doing like a full block of health. Okay, it looks like my power actually did go up at level 16, so we're maxed out now. Smash him in the face. Got him. Alright, Gigan's gonna move forward like that, so what I'm gonna do is actually take Godzilla forward. Remember, we want to be in the spots of 2. As long as we're both Godzilla and Mothra are in the spots of 2, we're fine. Boom. Tail swipe on those things. It's not really any other good way to destroy them with Godzilla. Jump to so we can avoid the orb. Now, these background objects actually give you a lot of health. So you want to kick the little rails on the buildings. And they usually drop health. Tail smack for that guy. Breath for this guy. There we go. Hey, trouble student. Put in the X in the Planet X inhabitants, yes. Okay, okay, Gigan, what are you doing? It's getting aggressive. You're not cornering me with that. Nope. No, sir. Alright, we're gonna bring Mothra forward. Just like so. And then Mecha Godzilla will probably come after us. This is one of the few stages in the game where you actually end up playing the exact same levels with both Godzilla and Mothra. Alright, Ghidorah's gonna stay. Well, in that case, I'll just move Godzilla forward then. Because Mecha Godzilla is not gonna run past me. He's gonna fight me. That's just what they do. Yeah, that's not the first time someone said that in this stream, yeah. Yeah, Godzilla 2 is a totally different game. Some people will enjoy that one more, actually. But yeah, it's a turn-based strategy game. Don't know if I'm ever gonna play it on the stream. Well, I don't know, we might fire it up sometime as, you know, on an NES variety stream or something. Which I need to do more of. I need to do more variety streams. We're gonna be doing one soon with the Philips CD Interactive. That should be a fun one. Oh, see you, Nihilus? I didn't know you're still out there. Yeah, take care, dude. Thanks again for backing as a channel member, sir. I appreciate it. Again, check your notifications tab for early access Let's Plays and stuff like that. Come on, turret. There we go. Gotta boot him in the chest. He might take some damage, but we'll also dish out the damage at the same time. Look at that! We got him before the timeout. There's some patchies for you. Yeah, we might even be able to get some patchy on camera today. Okay, so this is tricky right here. This is tricky. Alright, so I need to get Mothra just here first. Then I'll talk about what I'm gonna do. There is luck involved on Ghidorah, absolutely, because Ghidorah can just corner you, and if that happens, you're so screwed. And I guarantee you it's gonna happen. Now the question is it gonna happen and the fight's gonna time out and then I can bring my backup in? That's what's gonna matter. But I have a trick. So, alright, so how this works is... Oh boy. How this is gonna work is, you know, it goes from my turn to his turn. From my turn to his turn. What you want to do is park yourself in front of him. No, you will not fight the enemy. Okay? Now what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna get right in front of him, just park myself there. He's going to fight me. And then when the fight times out, cross your fingers that it times out, it'll be my turn again. And instead of choosing to fight him, I'll bring Godzilla in as my backup. And then we'll have both of our characters right in front of Ghidorah. That's the trick. If you move in and you choose to attack, you will die. You will get a game over. Pretty much guaranteed. Because what happens is you've used your turn to fight, and then when it goes to the enemy's turn, they'll always choose to fight. So you're gonna fight Ghidorah with the same character 2 times in a row. And that character will die. That's exactly what will happen. So that's what we're trying to avoid. And I figured that out on my second attempt. Kinda wish I had figured it out on my first attempt, because I had to go through this whole level again, which takes like a half an hour. Or at least it felt like it. So yeah, that's the trick for this last part. So again, there is some strategic elements involved in this game. Very light strategic elements, but they are there. You do actually have to think about what you're doing sometimes. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. See, now Ghidorah's gonna fight me. And it does a lot of damage. But I'm also doing good damage too. Now, if it just stays in the back, I am very happy. But no, it's coming my way. Okay, no, 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 no. Stop doing that. No, no, no. See, this is what I'm talking about. I think we're gonna be fine, actually. Because I still have a lot of health with Mothra. And the fight's probably be about to time out. No, no, there goes... Okay, good. Okay, not gonna touch anything. We're gonna do Godzilla. We're gonna move Godzilla up. And then choose to fight Ghidorah. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Yeah, this thing spawns these orbs now, which sucks. There we go. Wish I got some health for it, but... Alright, there's some health. Boom. One kick. And health. Okay, good. We're going into this fight with almost full health. So if you think Ghidorah is gonna corner you, do your breath. So at least it doesn't, you know, get all the damage on you. Do all the damage. Okay, please get away. Please get away. Thank you. And boom, we just beat Godzilla on NES. Without dying, actually. Although you still have to exit still. So the game's not over yet. You know, it would have been nice if they just said, you know, yeah, game's done. Here's the ending. But no, you still have to exit. Thanks, Ener. I appreciate it. So I guess technically we haven't actually beaten the game yet. But we're very, very close. We just have to exit. But yeah, that's the trick to Ghidorah. Is... Or for one, first off, make sure you're at level 16 when you get here. And it's very possible to not be at level 16 with both characters because you may have killed most of the bosses with just Godzilla. But you need to balance it out. You need to balance the boss fights with Godzilla and Mothra. So they level up relatively evenly. If they don't do that, you might get here with the level 16 Godzilla, but a level 10 Mothra. Which might be a big problem for the final boss. But, yeah, do that. But then, at the very end, you need to get in front of Ghidorah and choose to not fight it. If you do that, then you'll be fine. If you choose to fight it, you will probably get a game over. That's the key. And even when Ghidorah cornered me, I still had plenty of health. You know, it wasn't doing... Like, it did considerable damage, but I had plenty of health to where we were fine. Yeah, this is my victory run after the boss. It's a good way of putting it. I like that. And then get killed by this orb at the very end and have to do the whole thing over again. It would actually be interesting if that changed the ending. Instead of having Godzilla and Mothra in the end photo, or the end image. Uh-oh. Have just one of them, because one of them died at the very end. Alright, guys, that's it. And we're not done with the stream, though. I'm gonna do the Destroy All Monsters password. Oh, man. Feels good to finally have this one knocked out on my channel. It's been something I wanted to do for years. Years and years and years, so... Oh, man. I had fun, too. It took us a little over actually about 3 hours even. How do they get back to Earth? They just magically appear there. Just like they magically appeared in space. Oh, man. Teleportation to Planet X, yes. And actually, it's now that you guys mention it, we were looking at Earth from Planet X. But Planet X was, like, the distance of the moon. I don't know of a Planet X. So, he thought it was the moon. Yeah, it looked like the moon, but we were on Planet X. I don't know, I'm overthinking this. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, Godzilla NES, guys. There you go. Cast. Yeah, so what I'm going to do after this is input the Destroy All Monsters password. And then, in the future, I'm going to look into that creepypasta Godzilla PC game and see where it is. Oh, funny enough, there was that... It looked like there was that attack with one of the previous bosses, but it never showed up in the game itself. And there we go. Yeah, rare sprite for Hedora. Yeah, it doesn't happen. Alright, Pedro, you look like you're trolling, dude, so... Peace out. I don't know who you are. Alright, we're gonna reset the game. Alright. Yeah, last game is how you continue. So password game. Alright, so now I don't remember exactly how you have to do this, because you'll notice that there is no O. So I think it's 0. Dude, even the password music is cool. It's so eerie. I don't remember I have to do all spaces or anything like that. There we go. So now you get to play the first level with all the enemies. So we're gonna go ahead and try this. And I'm only at level 8 though, so this is gonna be really challenging. Now, you actually can play through the entire game again, I think, with this. It's not just the first level, but I want to try just the first level and see what we can do here. Yeah, this is a password that I've known since I was a kid, and I've never forgotten it. Pretty easy to remember, you know. Oh, jeez, you have these orbs on the first level now. That's crazy. They're not in the first level, I believe, when you normally play this. Let me actually bring Godzilla down this way. Oh, it didn't carry over for you? Okay. Well, we'll see if we can... I don't think we're going to be able to beat it because our characters are only at level 8. Of course, it depends on what the bosses are, but I want to say the bosses... At least some of the bosses, like Ghidorah, might be maxed out. I don't know. Remember, these things are a little bit tougher to deal with on stage 1. Where's the hitbox? When we did this earlier, it was in the front. Alright, come on. Get out of here, dude. Little brain thing. Can't find the hitbox. There we go. I feel like the hitbox takes a long time to appear in this first one. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, he's at a higher level than me. Nothing a tail can't fix. Yeah, it does seem like against certain enemies you get critical hits. When he gets pushed back, he does that one animation where he kind of like flails up. That, it looks like you do more damage on that one hit. So that's actually something interesting I never paid attention to before. Because I'm looking at his health bar closely and I'm noticing some hits are doing way more damage than others. No level up. Interesting. Almost makes you wonder if score does have an effect on your leveling up. Oh yeah, Swordmaster. That's another game I need to play through. I've heard that's actually a decent game. Swordmaster is quite hard, though. Okay. You notice that what I've been doing a lot in this playthrough with Mothra is trying to predict when some of these enemies become active. Like these doors in the background that open up and reveal, you know, turrets. So I'll start shooting, like, before they open up. So I can hopefully destroy them the second, you know, they become available. And then I can just move on. I don't have to just, you know, linger around. It's kind of like that. All of what you're seeing me do is intentional. I'm not just, like, mashing buttons and flailing away. Like, there's a lot of intent to what I'm doing in this game. Actually, pretty much everything I'm doing has a purpose. And sometimes when you watch people play games, you don't really see that. You're just like, he must be button mashing or something, not really knowing what he's doing. Alright, man. I got you. You can back off now. Thank you. Just like my cat. Too needy. I love my cat, though. Alright, let's go ahead and fight it again. Gizora. We could have done a lot more damage to it on the previous fight, but it got me cornered, so I just couldn't do anything. See, and again. Yeah, maybe we'll be able to get some patchouli in here, since I've got my webcam up again. Swordmaster is the second one. Yeah. Alright, we'll try it again. And no level up. Yeah, no, Castle Dragon is the first one, but that was based on an arcade game. Swordmaster, I don't think was based on an arcade game. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do here, because I'm not leveling up. Let's take... No, let's just sit in place. Yeah, Journey to Silius is great. Yeah, for sure. My brother came over last week. We streamed NES games on Twitch, and he didn't play a lot of these awesome NES games that I did. I introduced him to Batman, Journey to Silius, Gremlins 2, Shatterhands. Yeah, he was impressed. Just in time. I mean, I might do that. I might go up a space or two just to get some health. But what I'm concerned about is my level, not necessarily my health. Yeah, that's the issue right now. Castle the Dragon, you always, actually, Swordmaster, you might always face right. I don't remember. Castle the Dragon, you can definitely turn left and right. Because there are bosses that go to both sides of the screen. Alright, see ya, Ener. Take care. Yeah, thanks for chatting with us. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Boot to the face! As often as I can. There we go. If I kick at just the right time, I don't get pushed back. Boom. See? Skill, guys. That's what I'm talking about. There's plenty of skill that you can use in Godzilla. I'm timing my kicks at just the right time so I don't get pushed back. It's awesome. Dude, this game might even be better now as an adult than it was as a kid. Now that I'm learning these, like, deeper mechanics. See, I'm mistiming it, so I'm getting knocked back. Kick, and yeah, I mistimed it again. There we go. Got it. What I should do is this. And if you time it right, you'll actually get a hit off on him. I think I actually did just level up, too. A friendly spar. A boot to the head! Actually, this might have been a mistake with how much trouble we had last time. Give me that. Actually, that worked out. I got my health back. Maybe the hitbox appearing is based on these brown things. Maybe I kill them and then the hitbox appears. Maybe that's how it works. Yep, that's how it works. We just... man, we're still figuring stuff out. Okay. Okay. Great, now I have to fight Gigan. Hey, Johnny, welcome back. Or Yanni. High jump kicks. Gotta do high jump kicks. That's what I wasn't doing earlier. I was trying to hit him in the chest. You gotta hit him in the face. Oh, jeez. Been some time. You actually like this game. Nice. Yeah, we've actually had quite a few people in here today that say they enjoy this game, which is really cool to see. I was expecting a major bash fest when I was, you know, prepping this stream. I was like, this could be one of those streams where we get a lot of trolls. But no, it's great to see the warm reception. Yeah, I really enjoyed this game too, and I had a good time streaming it today. And playing it last week on Twitch. We've already beaten the game. What we're doing now is we entered a code called Destroy All Monsters. And it takes you to the first level with all the bosses in the game on the map. So it's kind of like a little challenge mode. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, you're not supposed to spawn that. Tail to the... oh, okay, no. Tail to the face, not a good strategy. He likes to do lasers, apparently, when you try to tail whack him. Yeah, I don't think I'm leveling up either. I thought I heard the level up noise on a previous boss, but I am not leveling up. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Tony. Because we would have leveled up by now. With all these bosses we've beaten. That's gonna make the final boss really interesting. If we're stuck at level 8. But we're gonna have to try to use the same strat that we did on our normal playthrough. Just stick with the same fight. Just use Mothra. Oops. It's trying to be like the PS1 Contra? No, it's not anything like the PS1 Contras. It's trying to be a roguelike action RPG with run and gun elements, and it just doesn't work. It especially doesn't work as a Contra game. It might be mildly enjoyable if I put more time into it. I actually did a blind stream of it a couple months ago. I've got an archive if you guys want to see my first-hand impressions. My literal first time playing. Yeah, I don't know why Konami has over the years been so non-caring about what they do with their Contra IP. I mean, the PS1 games in particular. But then Rogue Core. It's like, come on, guys, don't you ever learn? It's fine to, like, make a game like that. Just don't call it Contra. Just make a new IP. Make a new IP, people might actually be interested because it's new. I don't know, man. Oh yeah, that's right, I did play some other games on that stream. I played Contra, Hardcore Uprising. Did I play any other games? I don't remember. I remember cutting that stream early because I was so tired. I had gotten like no sleep that day. Well, no, the slot and pachinko thing is, yes, it's a lucrative business for them, but they still do, they still license their stuff out. But the Contra thing has been going on much longer than recent years. Like, not really caring for that property that much. It's like, yeah, we'll just license it out. Yeah, just do whatever you want with it. We don't care. It'll still print money. Always taken away from the core of what the Contra series is, which is good run and gun action. But, yeah. Oh man, I forgot there was also that mobile version of Contra 4 back in the day. Oh, it was terrible. Although to be fair, Castlevania got the same treatment with, it was like, yeah, I totally forgot the name of it. There was a cell phone game for Symbian operating systems. I totally forgot what that was called. I need to load up a Symbian emulator and play that. Yeah, no, it's totally reasonable, Akela, but they should take more care with their properties, I think. They're long-running properties. Because some of these properties, like Contra and Castlevania, have massive fan bases. And they should know that as a company. Like, yes, it's their property to do what they want with, but it's not a smart decision what they did with Rocore. You know? They probably lost money on that game. Whereas they could have made money. I mean, hell, the game itself probably would have done a lot better if it just wasn't attached to the Contra series. Simple as that, really. So... yeah, there was a mobile version of Contra 4. I don't know if it was actually called Contra 4, but it was clearly based on the same thing. We're talking like 2003, 2004-ish. Well, Capcom did some stuff with Mega Man. I mean, they did, a bunch of good collections. You know, Mega Man 9 and 10. You know, 9 was technically, I think... was 9 2008 or 2009? I guess that was technically past a decade ago. But Mega Man 11 was awesome. So, I mean, it wasn't the best decade for the Blue Bomber, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse. It could have been Contra. God damn, or Castlevania for that matter. There hasn't been much with Castlevania. These the Lords of Shadow games. I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep after this stream. Alright, let's see how we can do here. I don't know, man. Oops. No. You can actually cancel out your movement. I'm trying to go diagonally, thank you. I will not fight the enemy, thank you. Shmup mode activated. Just dodge stuff. Wow, this is not looking good. Holy crap! Jeez, us. All those lasers. This is not looking good at all. Mothra needs food badly. Especially after all this shedding. Whew. Okay. Come on. Don't do that to me. Please time out. Time out, please. Time out. Thank you. It's gonna fight one of us again. Do Mothra. No, it's doing Godzilla. Okay, this is not good. This is not good. I don't think it would have been good to fly out and then go back. I can get lucky here. Come on, jump back. Jump back. Jump back. Go back. Jump back! Fudge! Fudge! We're so close. I wanted to see if all the monsters would appear again on the next level. Oh. Damn. Well, guys, that's gonna do it. That is Godzilla, Monster of Monsters for the NES. We were so close to that. Oh, man. I wonder how much health Ghidorah would have gotten back if I moved away a space and moved back just to get some health. But, yeah, no, that was a fun try. So, you think they do. Someone else said they don't. I think it was Plasma Guns said that they don't. So, I've never actually... I don't think I've ever actually beaten all the bosses on that. So... yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever done it. But that was so close! He had like one block of health left. If he had jumped to the back one more time, we would have got it. But it wasn't to be. Oh, man. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is Godzilla. That's pretty much going to wrap up the stream. I do appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. I enjoyed playing through it. And, yeah, let's see if we can get some patchy in here before I wrap things up. So, hold on a second, guys. Julie! Where's Julie? Come over here, baby. There she is. Alright. So there you go, guys. It's been a little while since you've seen Patchouli on YouTube. Here she is. You can get those patchy emotes out now. You were wrong, it's just a hidden stage. Okay. So it just looks like once. Yeah. Okay, good to know. There you go. Yeah. She slept out in the living room for the last 4 hours, but now she's wide awake. Yeah, thanks, Stodgy. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm playing on the AVS. There you go. You want to play Patchouli? That is some pretty fine work. Alrighty guys, well that's gonna do it. You guys have yourselves a fantastic day or night. And I'll catch you on the next one. What's the next stream about? I have no idea. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I'm not sure. But keep in mind I did post a new Let's Play today, so if you guys missed it, Cybercore went live, so go check that out. You need some help there? You need some scratchy help? We'll scratch there for you. Yeah, that's right, Vince. That's right, man. Alright, that's enough, Patchouli. Yeah, she loves it. She loves the attention. Hey, why'd you stop? Why'd you stop? So yeah, thanks guys for everything. Thanks for hanging out. It was a good stream, good turnout, lots of good chat. Thanks to everyone that did super chats and became channel members, so shout outs to Nihilus and then Red Zero Ranger. So thank you guys for that, I really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that helped out in the last stream as well. All those kind folks in yellow. You guys have been spoiling me these last couple of days, so I really appreciate it. Definitely helps me out. Definitely justifies all the time I put into doing this stuff here, so I do really appreciate your continued support. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Archive of this will probably be posted sometime next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday. So watch out for that if you want to watch the whole playthrough again, or just finished up, you know, catch spots that you missed out on. And so yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Yeah, watch out for my community post coming up this week too, asking about whether you guys want me to bring back the long play plus commentary format or not. I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway, but I always like to get feedback before I do stuff, so watch out for that. And then if you have any Let's Plays from the 8 and 16-bit era that you want me to cover, go to my YouTube community tab and please respond to the latest post that is up there as well. Just so I can sort of like veer myself in the right direction in terms of like what you guys want to see, as opposed to just what I've got, you know, on my own list. So yeah, go catch that and respond to that. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, guys, I will catch you later. For those Twitch followers, I will probably be live on Twitch in maybe a little bit. I don't know when my friend's coming over tonight, but I might practice some NES games until then. So yeah, watch out for that. And until the next one, guys, take it easy.